Okay, uranium update here on August 30th. So today was the second to last trading day of the month. So monthly candle almost over. We'll start with CCJ as we do. And we are relatively early in the daily cycle. That's the good news. So today was day 6. We've obviously had a lot of upside. Let's just measure this really quickly in terms of percentages. So let's say once we cross this swing low here to the high from today, so that's already 32%. And that's not measuring all the way from the low. That's not measuring from this low here. Just measuring, let's say, when you could have gotten in here. Even if you call it like you got in after this day. Like, even if you got in on the high of this day, right, where it was like, okay, this looks like a swing low. Still 26%. Maybe you didn't sell the top. Maybe we even just got out at the bottom here. Still 18%. So all that to say, we've gone up quite a bit. So consolidation would not be surprising. We had this little consolidation which resolved higher. Wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more consolidation than a push higher. I mean, this was technically consolidation and this was a higher low. But we're relatively early in the daily cycle, and that's good news because it means if it's only day 6, we could run for quite a bit longer. And if we look at the weekly chart, and this is CCJ. So I mentioned this in my previous video. As always, you can check out the link in the description. That this like weekly cycle was like squirrely, right? Like this was clearly a weekly cycle, a low, right? This was a pretty massive drop. Let's see what that was, percentage terms. Right, so you had a 40% drop almost. So this you had a low here, then you had this feeble bounce, and then you had another massive down candle, and then you had these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of consolidation, these 5 candles, right? And so there's an argument to be made that your weekly cycle low is actually somewhere in here, right? So this would be week 19, 20, 21, maybe here like week 22. And the point here is to try to gauge how long this rally has been going, right? Like, it's not about, oh my God, I need to be precise in the cycle counts. Who cares? The cycles are a tool for us to trade, right? And so if you say obviously even after this week, we were still consolidating a bit, but you could say this is where your rally started. So that would be week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This would put you on week 9. So certainly not early in the cycle. And, you don't have to split hair. You could say, well, we got a low. This is where our cycle started, right? Sure, it doesn't matter. The point is, we didn't just start this rally, but we're also not super late. And if you look at most importantly, if you look at the monthly chart, it definitely looks like we're on our way to making a new multi-year high, right? It looks like we're gonna at least test this. Maybe we get a double top, so that that's at 32.50, right? But definitely looks like we're on our way. And again, that calls into the question. Was this, this being a major cycle low, I guess you got this red month as well. I don't know. This is a pretty short decline for it being a major cycle low, for this to be your 3-year cycle low that just kind of came early. But either way, this just caused this to be a swing low. This is not why we have that level here. This just blew through that 28 level like it wasn't even there. And so still wouldn't be surprised if we get a back test of that level. Again, I'll go back to the daily chart. So where is the 28 level? So that is somewhere, like right here. Oh, well, there you go. So we did get our back test. It happened already. There you go. And that's really interesting, right? So that would have been your spot I guess that would have been a spot to reload potentially. But again, we're pretty early in the daily cycle, yet pretty extended. Let's add the 10-period moving average. Yeah, so we're pretty good distance above the 10-period moving average. We're pretty high up there. And so what we'll watch for is, that next point of consolidation is maybe an opportunity to add or get long if one isn't. And again, watching for a break above this high eventually. And if we look at the other uranium names, same kind of idea across the board. These are your daily charts. I'll flip to monthly. They're all nice and green, leaving swing lows behind for the most part. And I'll also turn to the yearly charts, big picture. I'll remove all the drawings so we can just kind of see clean charts. I mean, look at this chart for CCJ. 3 nice green years, this being the current year. We are on our way to test all-time highs and then some. So that would put you above $60, right? That's your high. Right, your high was, looks like somewhere in the 58 range or something. And you can kind of see, looking at this from a yearly perspective, this ETF has been down only since 2011. And now we've had like basically a massive reversal. This year is still an inside year though. This is the ETF URA. And so that's important to know about, right? Like this has all still been just, I'll zoom in. This has all still just been an inside year. And so this thing is just waking up, right? That's a move back to like 120. We're at 23 here. Because that said, this is an ETF comprised of different things. So like, you know, the mix may have changed quite a bit. This is Denison, again, biggest time scales. We had that massive reversal in 2020, massive swing low. Took out like, you know, this thing, like took out all these lows here with this long wick and then just reversed up. Again, just like that ETF, it's an inside year so far. So notice CCJ is definitely the strongest structurally. We're making new highs on a multi-year basis. I mean, look at this chart. This is an annual chart. Look how incredibly bullish this thing is. I'll just draw the lines for you in case you can't see them, right? So oh, right, that brings back all the drawings. So we'll have to leave that. But, you know, you have this big downdraft, and then look at this move higher. This consolidation, breakdown. Now we're reversing back up. We may be going into a move like this, right? If I take like auto off, right? Like imagine, you know, you just get a nice string of green candles where the fundamentals are you know, wind at your back. Really, really interesting setup here. And again, notice all the other charts are actually still red on the year except UEC. Everything else is still red. GoviX is still very red, actually. So CCJ, again, I've called this out in many of these videos, definitely acting the best structurally. Although you'll get more upside, like percentage-wise, in some of these other names, right? Like, you know, Denison will give you like a triple, double, and I guess this is more like a double at this point. But the uranium space has woken up. We're making new highs on a monthly chart, and again, CCJ is making new highs on the yearly chart. These are yearly candles. Each candle here is an entire year of price action. Incredibly bullish. I mean, we seem like we are furiously moving at least to like that level. And I'll just turn this back. Right. So like that would get you to like the 44 area maybe before the end of the year, like within this, you know, weekly cycle, maybe, most likely. Oh, right. I can get rid of the indicators. That helps. Right. So like you can see it wants to make a move to that 44 area. And so that could be a good target for this weekly cycle for CCJ. So that's the update on uranium.